We're here with Bob Kodzis, our keynote speaker for our international conference in just a couple weeks. And Bob has agreed to spend some time with us answering just a couple of questions. And Bob, I'm going to start with a question about yourself. If you are coming to this conference full of experiential educators and gap year professionals, do you consider yourself an experiential educator? And if so, or if not, why?
Yes, I definitely consider myself an experiential educator. I consider myself an experimental educator. And I think there's a reason the roots of those two words are the same. I try a lot of different things to figure out how to engage my audience. Sometimes I'm inventing stuff. Sometimes I'm grabbing stuff from the stratosphere. Sometimes I'm having friends help me create things, all with the goal of getting people engaged enough that we can get whatever lesson I'm trying to pass through their pores as painlessly and really as fun as possible. So yeah, I consider myself an experiential educator. I don't think I'm the best one out there. I'm actually expecting to learn a lot from the people who show up at this conference, but I'm definitely gonna show them my brand of experiential education, because all the talks that I give are living examples of how I try to teach and engage people. So I'm expecting to engage some people.
Excellent, and we expect to be engaged. Right along those lines, you mentioned sort of what's your brand and what you're going to be talking about. What exactly should our attendees expect to take away from your presentation?
They're going to take away an understanding of the power of their individual and collective stories, and what it takes to unleash those stories in the world, and why it's important for them to unleash those stories in the world and into their work and into their lives. Story is really powerful. And we're all individual living examples of stories. And so I'm gonna show them some things about themselves as individuals. I'm gonna show them some things about the story of the group as a whole. It's gonna be really engaging and fun. And I hope what they get out of it is a sense of how important and powerful their stories are, and have a sense of how they might be able to better manage those stories and unleash them on the world.
Mm-hmm. And one last question, Bob. Improvisation is something I know you're very passionate about, and I'm curious where you see that passion overlapping with being an educator and doing some of the facilitation work that you do.
Human beings are not predictable. Aldous Huxley said the only predictable human beings are the dead ones, and she was right. The bottom line is we are unpredictable, and so if we're going to be teaching unpredictable beings, we have to be ready for anything. And improvisation allows us to accept whatever the universe throws at us and make it work with a sense of joy and a sense of fun. So I really feel like if you're not an improviser as an educator, you're probably not doing it very well, because the circumstances are never what we expect. And if we lock ourselves in without our ability to ad lib and to take the bull by its horn as it arrives rather than as we wish it to be, we're out of luck. So I think improvisation is a very powerful and important skill that everybody should have in the world, but in the world of education, and specifically experiential education, where you go deeper and there are more variables because you're trying to push more buttons inside the people who are learning. I feel like it's definitely a skill that would benefit.